Alicante is one of those Mediterranean cruise ports that looks simple, but that's exactly where cruisers get caught out. If you're wondering whether this port is truly a DIY win or a time trap in disguise, this is exactly what we're breaking down today. Your ship docks at the pier, the historic centre and beach are close, and the famous castle sits right above the harbour. But here's the thing. Most passengers don't realise until it's too late. Timing, transport choices, and knowing what to prioritise make the difference between a relaxed day and a rushed scramble back to the ship. Alicante sits on Spain's Costa Blanca, and the cruise terminal is about a 15 to 20-minute walk from the old town edge. The port itself is a working harbour, so you'll walk through the secure zone, then follow the waterfront promenade toward the city. A shuttle bus often runs from the terminal to the marina area near Plaza Puerta del Mar, which cuts down the walk and gets you straight to the action. From there, the Explanada de España, the Old Town, and Postigate Beach are all within easy reach on foot. Before you step off the ship, here are the biggest decisions you need to make. First, DIY or tour. Here's the simple rule for Alicante. If you stay central, castle, old town, waterfront, city beach, this is a genuine walk port and DIY works perfectly. But the moment you add a second transport layer, a ferry to Tabarca, a bus to San Juan Beach, or an inland day trip to Guadalest or the caves, you're introducing return time risk and timing pressure. That's when a guided option starts to make real sense. Second, castle strategy. The lift to Santa Barbara Castle costs €2.70, but it saves energy and time. If it's hot or windy, don't attempt the hike. Third, beach choice. Postigay is easy and close. San Juan is bigger and better, but transport adds time and risk. Fourth, whether to attempt Tabarca Island. The boat is roughly an hour each way, and schedules are seasonal. Only do it if ferry times comfortably fit your ship's schedule with a solid buffer. Now, here's the reality of this port. A lot of visitors choose tours in Alicante because the distances to places like Guadalest, Elche, or the inland caves add up fast, and return timing gets tight. Cruise line excursions usually cost more for the same experience. Local tours offer better value, smaller groups, and they know the cruise schedules. Reputable local operators match the same return buffers as ship excursions, but they simplify the timing, the transport, and the stress. If you want to see more than just the city centre, a guided option often covers multiple sites more efficiently than trying to manage buses or taxis yourself. We've added our favourite local tour options in the description, and they're the ones we personally recommend for this port. We took the shuttle from the terminal and it dropped us near the marina. The first thing you notice is the palm-lined Explanada de España, this beautiful tiled promenade that runs along the waterfront. The tiles are laid in a wave pattern, and the whole thing feels polished and relaxed at the same time. We grabbed a coffee at one of the cafes along the edge, and it was the perfect way to ease into the day. The marina is right there, and you can see the castle looming above the city on Mount Benacantil. It's impossible to miss. In a minute, I'll show you the one mistake that costs people the most time at the castle. But first, let's talk about getting there. Here's mistake number one. Most cruisers assume they can just walk straight into town and figure it out. But they don't account for the port gate, the secure zone, and the extra 10 to 15 minutes that adds. If you're planning to do the castle and the old town, don't leave the ship late. The lift to the castle can have queues, especially when two ships are in port, and the castle itself takes at least an hour if you want to explore properly. Get off early, take the shuttle if it's running, and head straight to the castle before the crowds build. Trust me, this order saves a lot of time. We walked from the marina toward the lift entrance, which is tucked near Postigay Beach. The lift takes you up through the mountain, and it's a long tunnel before you even reach the elevator itself. Once you're at the top, the views are absolutely stunning. You can see the entire bay, the city, the coastline, and your ship sitting in the harbour. The castle is huge. It's not just one building. It's a sprawling fortress with different levels, courtyards, and viewpoints. We spent about an hour up there, and honestly, it's the highlight of Alicante. If you only do one thing today, make it this. Coming down from the castle, we walked through the old town instead of taking the lift back. The streets are narrow, colourful and full of character. There are little squares with cafes, churches with beautiful facades, and that classic Spanish vibe where locals are just going about their day. Now, here's where you need to make a choice about lunch. You can eat near the port and pay tourist prices, or you can follow the locals into the old town side streets where the food is better and cheaper. We stopped at a small bar and ordered padron peppers and patatas bravas. The peppers were perfectly blistered, and the bravas had that garlicky alioli that makes everything better. This is where you eat in Alicante. Not at the tourist spots near the port, but in the old town where the food is simple, fresh, and genuinely local. Here's mistake number 2. A lot of cruisers try to fit in San Juan Beach without building in enough buffer time. The bus is roughly 20 to 25 minutes from the Puerta del Mar area, and frequency can change. If you go, leave the beach early. Traffic and bus queues on the way back can eat into your timing, and you don't want to be sprinting back to the ship. If you want a beach day without the stress, Postiguet is right there. It's a city beach, but the sand is good, the water is calm, and you're only a 20-minute walk from the port. This is where that DIY rule comes back. Stay central, stay relaxed. Add transport layers, add risk. So the choice is yours. Bigger beach with timing pressure, or easy beach with zero stress. After lunch, we walked down to Postiguet Beach. It was busy, but not packed. Families were swimming, people were playing volleyball, and the whole scene felt relaxed. We didn't swim, but we walked along the sand and just enjoyed the sun. The castle sits right above the beach, so the backdrop is incredible. If you want to combine culture and beach time without complicated transport, this is the move. Before we head back to the ship, I'll show you the one timing mistake that catches people out at the end of the day. Now, if you're looking at premium versus budget options, here's the breakdown. The premium route is booking a local tour that takes you to Guadalest, the castle village in the mountains, or to the Canalobre caves. You'll pay roughly 60 to 80 euros per person, but you get maximum efficiency in a port where distances add up and mountain roads can slow you down. The budget version is staying in Alicante, doing the castle, the old town, and the beach on foot. You'll spend almost nothing on transport if you use the shuttle, and you'll still have a great day. Both options work. It just depends on how much you want to see and how comfortable you are managing timing yourself. This is where a guided option really helps. The inland day trips are beautiful, but they introduce variables. Buses can be substituted during roadworks, train delays happen, and if you're not back with 90 minutes to spare, the stress isn't worth it. A lot of people prefer a tour here because it removes that timing pressure and lets you actually enjoy the sights instead of watching the clock. Tours handle the distance, the winding roads, and the return buffer, so you can relax. Here's mistake number 3. Don't underestimate the walk back to the port, especially in the heat. The shuttle helps, but if it's not running or you miss it, you're looking at a 20 to 25-minute walk from the old town back to the terminal. Leave yourself at least 60 to 75 minutes before all aboard if you've been using taxis or the lift. If you went off-city on a train or bus, keep 90 minutes minimum. Alicante is a walk port, but only if you stay central. The moment you add transport, you need to respect the buffer. This is the rule that keeps you from missing the ship. As the afternoon wound down, we made our way back toward the marina. We stopped at a small cafe near the Explanada and had one last cortado. The sun was still warm, the promenade was full of people, and it felt like the perfect end to a low-stress day. Alicante surprised us. It's not flashy, but it's polished, walkable, and genuinely enjoyable if you keep your plans simple and your timing smart. And that's the whole point. Alicante looks easy, and it is, as long as you respect the timing and stay central. The port delivers exactly what it promises, but only if you make the right calls early. We've added our favorite local tours in the description below. Great value, smaller groups, and they've always had us back to the ship with plenty of time. Tell us how you'd spend your day in Alicante and keep watching for the next port.